Have you ever felt invisible, even in a room full of people, because you couldn't speak English?
Yes, Annie. It's terrifying when every word feels wrong and every sentence makes you feel completely stuck.
I remember standing in front of a class, wanting to speak, but my mouth refused every single word.
It's like your brain is screaming, say something, but your tongue feels frozen in fear and doubt.
People laugh, even gently, and you feel that deep sting, like you failed at the simplest task.
And the worst part, you know you're intelligent, but English makes you feel like you're suddenly invisible.
Have you noticed how confidence disappears the moment someone corrects your pronunciation or grammar in public?
Exactly, that moment kills your motivation, and suddenly you avoid conversations, even ones you really want to join.
It's painful, isn't it? Watching others express ideas effortlessly while you stumble on every word painfully.
Yes, it feels like watching life pass by while your voice is locked away somewhere you can't reach.
I used to think, maybe I'm just not smart enough to speak English fluently like others.
I've thought the same. That shame and self-doubt weigh you down more than any single mistake ever could.
Sometimes I even avoided eye contact because I feared someone would ask me a question I couldn't answer.
And every social situation becomes a trap, a reminder of what you can't do instead of what you can.
Do you ever feel your brain works faster than your mouth, but your confidence just refuses to follow?
Yes, it's painful. Ideas, thoughts, even jokes get stuck inside, like treasures that no one will ever see.
I've cried in front of my mirror, repeating sentences alone, wondering why I can't make my voice heard.
It's a quiet suffering, Annie. Others don't see the tears, the late night frustration, the self blame we carry silently.
Sometimes I ask myself, am I doomed to silence in English forever, no matter how hard I try?
And that question haunts you, doesn't it? It's more than language, it becomes an identity crisis over time.
Every wrong word feels like a scar etched into your confidence, a reminder of your public failures.
And each scar makes you smaller in your own eyes, shrinking your willingness to take risks ever again.
It's not just embarrassment, it's isolation. You start avoiding meetings, parties, even casual conversations with friends.
You even catch yourself nodding silently in agreement, not because you understand, but because speaking feels impossible.
And the irony is, you're often very capable in your work or studies, yet language makes you feel powerless.
That disconnect hurts deeply. You're talented, smart, and articulate, but English becomes a wall you can't climb.
Have you ever frozen mid sentence, hoping no one notices the panic, your heart racing inside your chest?
Yes, and it's humiliating. Your thoughts feel trapped, and your confidence drains with every failed attempt.
It's like your voice has been stolen, leaving a ghost of your personality in social interactions everywhere.
And the silence builds over months, then years, until speaking English feels terrifying, even impossible to attempt.
Sometimes you even stop trying because every small mistake feels monumental, a personal failure magnified in your mind.
It's exhausting. You think about it all day, replaying conversations in your head, wishing you had said differently.
Do you feel judged, even when people don't mean to judge, just because your words stumble on their way out?
Absolutely, every slight hesitation or wrong word feels amplified, as if the whole world notices your insecurity.
And the funny thing is, people often misunderstand silence for disinterest, when really it's fear and frustration inside.
Exactly, they think you don't care. But the truth is, you care too much to risk looking foolish.
This constant pressure builds anxiety, creating a vicious cycle. fear prevents practice, and lack of practice fuels fear.
It's brutal. You start avoiding English completely, telling yourself, I'll try later, but later never comes.
Have you noticed how confidence leaks into other areas of life when English dominates your fear landscape?
Yes, work meetings, presentations, even casual networking suffer because the voice you need to shine is blocked.
You stop raising your hand in class or at work, even when you have great ideas to contribute.
It's a silent penalty for speaking a non-native language. Your intelligence feels invisible when fluency is missing.
And yet, deep inside, you know learning is possible. You've seen others who once struggled now speak confidently.
Absolutely, that's the glimmer of hope. Someone who persisted despite mistakes eventually reclaimed their voice in English.
That hope keeps you awake at night, dreaming of the day when speaking English feels natural, not painful.
And that's exactly why this episode matters. If you stay with us, you'll learn how to reclaim confidence.
We'll explore how to stop hiding your voice and start expressing thoughts freely without fear or hesitation.
Yes, because speaking English shouldn't feel like a trap. It should feel like freedom, creativity, and self-expression.
And by the end of this series, you'll realize that mistakes aren't enemies, they're steps toward fluency and self belief.
So if you've ever lost confidence in speaking English, stay with us, because this conversation is for you.
John, after sharing our struggles, it's time we talk about how to regain confidence and speak English naturally.
Yes, Annie, the first step is understanding that mistakes are normal and actually essential for learning any new language.
Many people fear making errors, but every mistake you make in English is a step toward improvement and growth.
Exactly, accepting imperfection is freeing. It reduces anxiety and suddenly your fear of speaking English begins to fade.
Starting small helps too. Even practicing a single sentence daily can slowly rebuild confidence without feeling overwhelming or stressful.
Another important tip is to create a safe space to speak English, like a supportive friend or language group.
Yes, a judgment free environment encourages practice. Your voice feels welcome, and mistakes are seen as learning opportunities, not failures.
Recording yourself speaking is also effective. Listening later helps identify areas to improve and notice progress over time.
Reading out loud is underrated. Even reading a simple paragraph daily trains your mouth and brain to coordinate effectively.
Don't just focus on grammar. Communication is about ideas. Your message matters more than perfection in your sentences.
Confidence grows when you celebrate small wins. Every sentence spoken is progress, even if it's imperfect or awkward initially.
Imitation is powerful. Listen to native speakers, repeat their phrases, and observe intonation. It trains both pronunciation and rhythm.
Role playing is fun and helpful. Pretend conversations with friends or in front of a mirror help reduce public speaking anxiety.
Consistency is key. Daily practice, even for any 10 often 15 minutes, compounds over weeks, gradually restoring confidence and fluency simultaneously.
Avoid comparing yourself to fluent speakers. Everyone has a unique learning pace, and your journey is your own story.
Visualization helps too. Imagine yourself speaking confidently in English. The mind often leads the body toward real improvement.
Listening more than speaking initially can be strategic. Exposure to correct sentence structures builds natural intuition for usage.
Surround yourself with English content podcasts, movies, news. Passive listening strengthens understanding, vocabulary, and eventually encourages spontaneous speech.